Welcome. I'm Laura Jane, and this is my video that I'm offering on how I've seen yoga therapy can help with a lot of types of chronic pain. And so this comes from my working with lots of people, hundreds of people really, one-on-one in helping solve chronic pain. And really the whole reason I got into this version of yoga, this way of using yoga, is working with getting out of my own chronic pain that had developed after a car accident in my mid-20s. So for my first 7 or 8 years of teaching yoga and learning about yoga, I was dealing with chronic pain, and sometimes my yoga would help. And we'll talk about some of the ways that most forms of yoga can help in some of what yoga can offer and remind us in as far as the perspectives and the approach with ourselves and some of the psychology and such, and even the general use of breath and such. Although some forms of yoga, some uses of yoga can definitely make a lot of chronic pain stuff worse, and that's a problem too, and part of why I'm making this video, because not all yoga is going to make chronic pain better, but specifically used yoga, especially regarding the poses specific to you and your body, is going to be the best way to help get out of most chronic pain. But there are a lot of pieces of yoga that can help with most chronic pain, and hopefully we get that from just about any yoga experience we might take in these days, from any teacher or class. But not any pose is going to be just right for us. We need to really hone in on what's appropriate and thus make sure that our use of yoga doesn't make our chronic pain worse. So for years before I learned to get specific with the use of the poses, especially in solving chronic pain, my pain would sometimes get solved, sometimes get worse. So I was still battling with it until I connected with this more specific alignment-based use of the poses in a more postural therapy way, a more postural alignment therapy way. But this is how I solved my pain, was finally honing in on some specifics with what was happening with my body and my structure and my alignment and my lifestyle and my ways of handling myself too. But to get specific with the poses is helpful, and to use the perspectives and the approaches and even the energy medicine that we can get with yoga in general can help. So getting specific was what worked for me and what works for a lot of us. And that's the first piece of how I see yoga therapy can help with a lot of chronic pain stuff. So whether we're talking about back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, elbow pain, wrist pain, hip pain, knee pain, foot pain, ankle pain. Did I miss any of those? Even things like headaches, which can be a form of chronic pain, even things like generalized pain. I've gotten to work with lots of people who have even that kind of symptom going on, with maybe something like a rheumatoid arthritis or fibromyalgia, which can have maybe more of a symptom that sometimes moves around and isn't as easy to identify. But I've noticed that getting specific with the poses and addressing it as alignment is the best start for most of us. So it turns out that the human body is designed to be in a certain sense of alignment, and that we're born to be pretty symmetrical and to have things like feet that generally point straight ahead, knees that point straight ahead, hips that are level, shoulders that are level, a head that's pretty centered over the body. And then from a side view with the spine, we want to have a certain sort of curvature going on with some of the natural curving in the neck and then the natural curve in the low back. And pelvic position turns out it's pretty important with how the body's doing and feeling, and just our general alignment with our structure in general. So turns out a lot of us are out of alignment these days in lots of ways. Whether we've gotten there through our lifestyle, through our sports, through being a parent, through healing an injury, through all sorts of things, we've gotten pretty out of balance and out of alignment, it turns out. So most of the pain stuff that comes up with a lot of these chronic pain things is because of alignment, it turns out. And so what we get to do with the yoga therapy approach, with the body, with the structure, and this is a lot like how a chiropractor might look at the body, is to look at the alignment and look at what is happening right now with the alignment, with the posture, with the structure, and what's out of alignment. And almost always it's easy for even the client or the student or the patient to see why they're having a certain sort of pain once they are made aware of the misalignment happening. And often people might even be aware of these alignment issues. So the piece with this approach is that we can take a look at what's out of alignment, and then the truth is that the body can gently change and get back in alignment if we give it the right tools, the right use of the exercises to gently stretch, reposition, realign, and even strengthen us back into alignment so that we can restore and repair those alignment issues and thus solve and alleviate a lot of the pain stuff, if not all of them. And I found this alignment approach even helps with the generalized pain stuff. And here's part of why with that. Another things we're getting to do with all of the use of the postures, but especially use of the postures that's going to make sure it aligns us more, is we're helping with energy, and we're addressing it all as energy. And so when we have pain symptoms going on, we're also looking at that as a form of energy and gently addressing it. So both our use of the postures and our bringing in things like breath and even things like imagination, and a lot of what we can do on the mat just as a piece of our yoga is address those symptoms, those pain spots as energy also. So as we're gently solving the reason for the pain, for the inflammation, being the alignment, as we're helping you get back in alignment, we're also helping the body to address it as energy, address it as potentially stuck energy, and gently free that up, gently help energy move more smoothly, and even bring in fresh new energy. We also get a chance to bring in a lot more oxygen into all the cells, which is going to help with how the body's feeling, how the body's functioning, how the cells are repairing, how muscles are rebuilding and restoring. So just these little shifts that we get to make with use of the right exercises, use of bringing in a more therapeutic breath, and then also just knowing what's possible in a yoga sense, that we see the body as always growing and changing, and that a lot of things are regenerating and replenishing, and the body just wants that assistance to get back into that good alignment, to really return to homeostasis, that more normalized, healthy, well-being state that the body wants to be in if we just give it the right stimulus each day. And that's a piece with this as well, that it does involve taking care of this more like every day, especially if we're in pain, that we need to be willing to do something each day. It doesn't have to take a long time. It can be in just minutes a day to repair what's happening with the body that's putting us into that chronic pain, and help realign the structure and help address it all as energy, and use things like the breath to gently even soothe what's happening for the body, shift what's happening, and replenish and repair what's happening. And then, of course, in the name of soothing, a piece that we'll get from, I think, all yoga classes or teachers these days is the importance of relaxing. And relaxing really helps heal our pain stuff as well, because we now know how restorative relaxing is and how much the body thrives and replenishes when we get it back in that relaxation mode. So a lot of our work and play with yoga also is getting better at eliciting that relaxation response for the benefits on the systems and the organs and the muscles, and also just the energy of relaxing and the shift of that for how we're holding the body, how we're holding ourselves. Of course, another piece of the yoga approach would be also to be bringing in more of a meditation way with ourselves and building in ways to be meditating more, whether that means during the poses or while we're sitting or laying down, or even during more like mindful practices, like even washing dishes, taking a walk, or things like that, if that works better for you. But also building in ways to start to listen to ourselves more and to even get a look at what's happening for us within the pain, and if there are any lifestyle things that are leading to the pain, or ways that we're handling ourselves that are contributing to the pain, ways that we could be listening to ourselves more and sooner, as far as letting that pain even be an indicator for us, as some sort of indicator to maybe slow down or refocus or take care of ourselves a little sooner, a little better. But the bonus is that building in more of a daily use of some of the practices and even some of the poses is going to help you know you are taking care of it. And so the psychology also of being in pain, which it can be such a drain, such a strain on us physically, emotionally, to be in chronic pain, and on our relationships, of course, and on our work lives, our bank accounts. There's so many stressful things that can go along with chronic pain that I'm even just slightly aware of because of my experience with being in pain and some of what that led to in my life. So also just knowing that you probably deserve a lot of extra time to repair and replenish and give yourself that self-care and that self-love for all that time you have been in pain, whether it's been months or years, and that's going to help you heal even faster, to honor yourself like that you've been going through that, and that's a lot psychologically, emotionally, energetically, and physically. So that would be a yoga approach as well, to just honor what's true, and that it's truly hard to be in pain and such a drain and such a strain. So to give yourself what you can give yourself to refresh, renew, replenish, and just take care of you as your quickest, fastest way actually to get back to life and to not have to feel like it has to be all about just keeping yourself out of pain, but that this can be your solution-based way to shift what is potentially or probably causing the pain and really help you get back to life and really help it not be such a topic in your life and let you get into more fun things like your creativity and flow and inspiration and enjoying your moments, just being in less pain and even no pain. And that perhaps you can just be thankful for, if there are any gifts or lessons that have come through the pain, would be a yoga approach as well that we may move toward eventually, but certainly also towards solving it and shifting it and fixing it even is exciting. And I've seen a lot of people make some amazing changes if they're willing to add some ways each day to address what is perhaps leading to the pain, probably causing the pain, and doing some things each day to change that. So I'm here to help, and I'm really excited to hook up people with this who are ready and who have been in pain, because it's just such a toll on our lives, and I'm eager to share what I found works, because we can make those shifts and those changes, whatever got us in the pain, and even let that pain be the reason to start taking care of ourselves in the ways that maybe we've always been wanting to. So sometimes that's the gift of this kind of thing. So I'm here. Please reach out if you want some questions or help, and I'd love to help you. So thanks for listening a little bit on how yoga can help with solving and soothing chronic pain. Thanks for listening. Namaste.